Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. In his sleeping car, Kyle and Audra are kissing passionately on the sofa. She leads him onto the bed, where they continue. As he climbs on top of her in his towel, he stops kissing her. "I'm onto you," he says. Audra feigns ignorance, but Kyle's sure she can figure it out. Shoving him off, she says she didn't plan to come in at the crack of dawn to seduce him. Kyle is confident she's planned every move since they got to France. Audra claims that she was scared, and this was all spontaneous. Laughing, he says she doesn't leave the house without an agenda. Kyle wondered how far she would go to get what she wanted, but didn't think she would sink as low as using the murder of Nate's brother to manipulate him into bed. Audra insists that's not what happened and points out Kyle was just as into it as she was. He claims he was faking. Audra keeps repeating that she hasn't been faking, and she's upset by his suggestion. The abbot jokes that Amy and Nate may have a hard time understanding how she expresses her grief. Flustered, she says she panicked and turned to him. Smugly, he asserts that was all just part of her plan. Audra's insulted that Kyle thinks any of this was premeditated. This is just what happens when you lose control of your emotions. Audra gets off the bed as he continues to smirk. Kyle wishes she would admit that he beat her and Victor this time. She claims Victor has nothing to do with this, but he's sure the Newman has been pulling her strings. Audra insists that Victor simply sees her talents. Her ex knows she has talents, but they have nothing to do with cosmetics. When Kyle threatens to tell Nate about this, she says he'd never believe him. Kyle is sure that this was just part of an endgame that she and Victor cooked up to split him and Claire up. Audra tells him he's a joke. He's sure that Victor is bankrolling Vibrant for this purpose alone. Throwing up her hands, Audra says that she knows nothing about a plan. She doubles down on being a great businesswoman who can make Victor a load of money. Kyle tells Audra she's failed at everything miserably. Audra says it's pretty pathetic that he had to make an arrangement with Victor to continue seeing his granddaughter. Kyle suggests she keeps coming up short because she thinks people are stupid. She brags that their plan to impress Kane was working. Kyle explains he was just stringing her along. As she accuses him of responding to her with great passion, he says the kiss was just to see how far she would go. Picking up his pants, Kyle says he discovered she would go all the way. Audra thinks Kyle is trying to convince herself he wasn't into it. He zips up and accuses her of being pissed off that he beat her at her own game. Audra declares that everyone has seen him flirting with her, and the only reason they haven't had sex is because she stopped it. Kyle says he was only playing a role. It will be a relief not to have to pretend to like her stupid perfume war idea any longer. The biggest mistake was that both she and Victor failed to understand how deeply he loves Claire. The last thing he would do is jeopardize what he has with her. Showing her the door, he declares that he will let Victor know she's failed again. Billy is alone and mulling things over outside the maze when Jack appears and asks what his brother makes of the feud between Nick and Kane. Billy's more concerned about Jack accusing him of letting him down again. They rehash the deal they made. Billy was supposed to walk away from pursuing Chancellor and run Abbott Communications. Instead, he's chasing after it again and has turned the new company over to Sally. Jack declares that no investor would tolerate flipping a CEO into place without consultation like that. Billy tells his brother he will get his money back. Jack is more concerned that his brother hasn't dropped his quixotic quest for Chancellor. Wanting to jump into a partnership with a potential murderer doesn't inspire confidence either. Billy admits he hasn't been able to forget Chancellor, and that has something to do with righting the wrongs that Jill and Victor have done to him. He accuses Jack of just being concerned about his money and gives him an ultimatum. Is he in or out? Jack accuses him of having no game plan. Billy repeats his ultimatum louder and louder. Eventually, Jack reminds him that Abbott Communications is a non-starter without him. Declaring that he's done, Billy says he is pulling out of their partnership and will find an investor to buy him out. They can do their best to forget this ever happened. Billy storms off, leaving Jack to shake his head. Sharon is with Phyllis in the club car, arguing about whether Kane is guilty of killing Damien. Phyllis doesn't appreciate that Nick thinks she's cold enough to look past murder for a job.